welcome back to my channel. I really missed you. I hope you enjoyed the videos that I have uploaded. I'm going to get the introduction out of the way. If you do not know me, I am Mayaka Anderson. I'm a owner of a holistic health and wellness emporium. What I focus on is aligning your mind, body, and your spirit so that you can live a more harmonious and balanced life. And how do I do that? I offer natural products to help you start your journey. All right, so I don't know if you've seen the thumbnail, but today's talk is going to be on alternative reality. This is not about the multiverses. This is not about parallel universes, but this is about alternative realities that we choose every day by the choices that we make. So make sure you put on your seatbelt. It's going to be a doozy of a ride. My whole objective with every video I do, okay, except for the Sheen video, every video I do is to help people start on their self journey, confronting themselves so that they can live a more balanced and, like I said, a harmonious life. And you cannot do that until you start being truthful with yourself, until you start to be able to look inside of yourself. They say know thyself. That's when your journey starts to begin, and then you'll be able to empower yourself to make your life look the way that you want it to look. It's not a joke, it's not a game, it's not a gimmick, but it is hard work. It requires a lot of patience, a lot of tears, some scary moments. It's not an easy work. That's what I'm trying to say. It's really not an easy work, but it is so well worth it when you start to understand that there are levels to this game and how to play them successfully for you. So you are your own opponent. You are your own enemy. No one else matters but you when it comes to how you want your life to look, how you want it to play out. You are, like I say all the time, the captain of your ship. So we want to make sure that you have the bow straight, that you have the compass right, and that you're traveling your true north, because you were given assignments when you entered into this realm. And we're going to talk about what happened that we don't remember our assignments, and how do our gifts get buried. So just stay tuned and we will continue on this great adventure together on learning about ourselves and taking self responsibility. Okay, guys? All right, let's get started. All right, guys. So, alternative reality, okay? And like I said, has nothing to do with Thanos or the multiverse or the Avengers, but this is something that is real, okay? So we are talking about the mysteries of our existence in this realm right now, real time. Okay, it's a path sometimes that is very much clouded by the teachings of those who claim to care about us. And I'm not saying claim like they don't, but it's just that they have been caught up in the roles just as we have, and was not able to really give us the tools that we need. Okay. So, as we delve into the alternative reality, what we're going to uncover is how often we forget our true assignment, how we get swept up in the current of life events, life influences from our parents, our family, our teachers, pastors, and friends. Okay. It's a journey where our unique gifts can sometimes just get buried beneath the expectations and perceptions. That's a huge one. Perceptions of others, okay? And we try to fulfill those expectations, and we try to fulfill the perceptions because we are taught that we don't want to let other people down. We need to put other people before us, right? That's what we're told. That's what a good steward is. That you look out for others more than you would look out for yourself. And I'm here to tell you that that's all horse pucky. Okay? It's horse pucky. You're ever on the plane, if you've been on a plane and the pilot says, or the stewardess says, if the oxygen depletes or whatever, the little mask comes down, what do they tell you? Make sure that you put it on yourself first before you can help others. It's the same rule here in life, and but no one says that, right? You have to be able to be filled within yourself. Know yourself so that you can rescue others. Because if you are not strong enough, if you are not filled with the substance that you need, that person that you're trying to save can very well be detrimental to your life, your health, your mental status, all of that. So we must understand how this works, that we must be able to fulfill ourselves, to love ourselves, to even like ourselves and know who we are. So we build that strong foundation. What does the Bible tell the story that you don't want to build your house on sinking sand? And a lot of people have built their houses on sinking sand, and as they get older, nothing looks right, nothing feels like right. They feel like they don't belong, their job isn't right, their friends isn't right. It's just stuff is falling apart because it's slowly quicksand. You're slowly sinking because you never had the right foundation. So it's important that you know yourself so that you can start to build that foundation. And if you can't build and make it strong there, you can move that cornerstone somewhere else so that you can build. And that kind of makes me think about some people who get trapped up in their old towns and their old cities, their old communities. Sometimes you can't grow there. Sometimes you have to pick up your cornerstone and go somewhere else and start all over again, right? Where no one knows your name. You don't need to be at Cheers. They all need to know your business. It is time for you to do what is right and to find out why you are here, because nothing happens by luck. Nothing happens by chance. There is a reason that you are here. There is a purpose. And we must figure that out, because if you do not start moving in that light, you can lose everything. All right. So let's talk more about it. So this talk is really a deep dive into the journey about empowerment, self discovery, the incredible power of choice, having free will. I think even as the Bible talks about, and even as science talks about it, we are the only beings who have free will. We don't just act out of instinct like our pet doggies or cats. We have free will and the ability to think things through. And that is an incredible power that we all have. So every step we take, every decision we make has the potential to reshape the landscape of our entire life. So those small, minute choices you make, they're not really small and minute, and they make ripples in your the fabric of the future. Okay, so we venture into the depths of alternative reality, where we uncover buried treasures within ourselves, and then we'll learn to navigate the web of the choices, because it really is a web. We were in this realm. You go straight, then you got to make a choice, A or B. But if you take A, it's going to lead you off to other paths. And if you take B, it's going to lead you off to other paths. Where would you have been if you chose A? We never know. So that's why I say it's an alternative reality. It's a different reality. Every choice we make brings us to a space we might not have been in. We might not have discovered or experienced. But sometimes those choices can be deadly if we do not think them through. And that's why it's an intricate web of choices. I always told my kids, like, if you have to make a choice, walk that choice all the way to the end, to the very end, as far as you can see it. If you can pay the consequence that's coming at the end of that choice, whether it be good or bad, go for it. But if you can't pay the consequence, then walk it back and find another way, because you are the only one that's going to have to pay for that consequence. There are tons of people who make choices every day. And every day, those people who make certain choices not only affect their lives, but they affect the lives of their family and their friends just by proximity. So you want to make sure that you make the best choices. And remember, your choices are your choices. No one has no one has to come to your rescue, especially if you have received counsel, especially if you know right from wrong. I know that sometimes it seems like some choices are the only choice that you have. I've been there and made some terrible choices, but it was me that had to pay that. No one else but me had to pay that. And like I said, there's levels to this thing. In those levels, there's lessons to this thing, okay? So we want to make sure that we understand that. So, what we want to do is, I want to help you unlock the blessings that await you on your journey, because there's blessings on the path that you're supposed to be in. Some of those blessings will catch up with you if you make the wrong choice, but some of those blessings you'll never see again. They're gone. Once you pass that point, it's a point of no return. And that area, that zone will not catch up to you. So, but then again, you don't know what you're missing if you don't know what you're missing, right? You're still in that survival mode, and going forward. I know, when I was pregnant at 16, okay? So pregnant at 16, I graduated high school at 16. I wasn't able to do anything. I did get a full ride scholarship, which my mom wouldn't sign off for, so that I could be in school. So when they say idle feet will lead you astray, honey. And so, anyways, ended up pregnant. And but that was a decision that I made. That, well, not a decision I made, but that's something that happened. It's a choice that happened. And I guess I could say it's a decision, because there are ways to prevent things like that from happening, and I didn't do that. But in that, every step that I took from then on, although I did not understand how to be a mom, I just knew that there were certain requirements that had to take place for you to take care of a child. So there was lots of mistakes that I did along the way trying to make that work. And through it, I mean, I learned some lessons. I learned how to not go back, but still there was a lot of mistakes that I learned. And so, to tell you that if you have made mistakes, if there's the choices that weren't the best, don't be hard on yourself, but go back and be honest about why you made them. So the next time you can be honest with yourself going forward on making current choices. So now, even in my choices, sometimes I get emotional feelings tied from way back then, to feelings now. So if I feel those things, I stop and I say, "Hey, I had this feeling before. What is this feeling attached to? What choices did I make in the past that may have brought this feeling on now?" I'm starting to get to know my body, know how my mind thinks and what it feels when it's in certain situations. And those are those lessons that you just naturally learn. And if you're trying to deal with yourself, right? If you're not, you'll just keep making the same mistakes over and over again. You'll keep surrounding yourself with the same people. I don't care if you move to another state, you will find the same type of people in your home country as you did, I mean, in your home as you do in this new place, because you're still vibrating at that level. You still haven't dealt with yourself. And so you're still comfortable in that low vibrational movement. And so you seek out the same type of people, the same type of work. Like, you just keep doing the same thing in different clothes, I guess you could say. So we need to really find out deeper what our true purpose is in this realm, right? Let's see. So, have you ever felt like there's something more to your life? Like, you're right there. You know there's something better, that you were meant to be or you were meant to do, but you kind of just lost sight of it. It's like a little corner, like a peripheral out there, a small little feeling in your gut, but you have no idea how you're even going to get to that point, to that place. And you're not absolutely sure if it's really your assignment. So when we first arrive in this realm, we are blank slates. Nobody comes in this realm with a religion, with a name. Uh, we're just not get with rules. We're not given any of that when we come in. So at that point, when we come into this realm, we're full of potential and we are full of purpose. But what happens? We grow. We start absorbing the beliefs and the expectations of those around us. We must be the same religion as mom and dad. You didn't come in with that religion, but all of a sudden that's what you are. They teach you that. It's not something that was indoctrinated in you before you came into this world, right? It was given to you. So if I was born to Muslim parents, I would be Muslim to this day. If I was born to parents that were monks, I would be monks to this day, right? So you are given whatever your family, whoever you came into. And then the family, usually the family is of the same beliefs, And so it kind of just reinforces what's going on. And then society, you start to talk to other people who are on the same level or in the same groups or religions or whatever it is as you, right? So it just reinforces even more. We wear these layers of rules, religion, politics, and what happens is it starts to cloud our true essence. We lose our true selves because we're putting on layers. It's like jackets on jackets on jackets. And we're wearing them proudly because we're taught to wear them proudly, right? We're not there to question. We're not there to instigate any trouble. We're there to go with the flow because these are my parents, this is my family, this is my friends, this is my society. If everyone's doing it, then it must be right. I don't know about that, honey. I don't know about that. So it's almost like you came into the realm and they handed you a script and they said, "This is who you are. You're Sally. You're going to be a nurse someday. Your religion is going to be Christianity, and these are the rules we abide by. So go for it." And we say, "Action." And all of a sudden, without any question, we blindly follow and we're like, where's my cue? What is my motivation? Right? That's in it's everybody else's stories but yours. When do you get to write a chapter about you in your own book? Everybody's been writing for years about who you're supposed to be, about what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to look, what you're supposed to say. When do you get to write your own chapter in your own book? And in the process of them telling us and giving us scripts and shouting out action, we forget what truly makes us happy, what truly lights us up, what truly makes us smile, and what really gives our life meaning. And it's really sad, and people for some reason don't see that because they are also indoctrinated. They have been given their scripts. They have been told their cues, where to stand on the stage. And so you have a world of actors on a grand stage who don't know who they are or what they're doing or the truth of what being a a, a spiritual being is. So we're all just lying to ourselves and we're lying to each other. And we're doing a disservice to the Most High. It's really like we're on a quest right now to rediscover our true purpose. I believe what happened in 2021, 2022 was a blessing because a lot of people got the veil pulled back. A lot of people started to see the truth and what life is really supposed to be about. And they started to take off some of those layers of conditioning and external influences and started to question, why am I doing this? Who are these people in my life? Why am I only having these conversations? There has to be more out there. And they started that little inkling about what they're supposed to do, their purpose, their assignment started to grow a little bit bigger. They started to get a beacon. Their spirit started to talk and say, "Hey, I've been here trying to show you the way." And people are now starting to listen. And that's one reason I do these videos is because I understand the very beginning of the journey of self. And without it, you can't move to any other journey. You can fool yourself, lie to yourself, whatever, but if you don't know you, you know nothing. So we need to peel back and take those layers off and reconnect with our authentic selves. And you can journal, you can meditate, you can walk, you can commune with nature, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself those hard questions. Everything starts with self reflection. Ask yourself, who am I beneath all this light is going, external expectations? What brings me joy, right? What feels like my true calling? It's about listening to that inner voice that's been overshadowed, that's been oppressed for so long. Reclaim your true identity and purpose. despite the noise in this world. Let's begin to wake up. As I continue, it takes me to like buried gifts. When I talk about the gifts that you have, the passion that you're supposed to have, it takes me to Matthew 25:14, where it tells of the story of the master who has to leave. But when he leaves, he gives the servant, one servant 5 talents, the second servant 2 talents, and the third one. And when he comes back, because he entrusted them to grow this money, right? I want you to invest, do what you do because I see something in you. And the first two, they did. They took the money and they went and they invested and they did what they did with their gifts and they were able to double that money and make it work, right? So when the master came back, he was happy like you did this. I knew you could. I saw the gifts in you. I knew that you were able to do this. But the third had lost himself. He buried it in the ground. He hid his talent. And then he was punished by the master for it. And this is so crazy because it's so many of us. We're hiding our talents because we don't want to tell our parents what we really want to do. We're hiding our talents. We don't tell the girlfriend or boyfriend, I need to break up because I really don't see this going anywhere and I really don't really like you at all. I bury my talent. I can't tell my boss that I need to leave because I'm crying in the shower because I feel horrible when I come to this job because no one is dealing fairly. I don't want to be friends with this group of circles. I got to bury my talent and just keep hanging out with them because if not, who am I going to hang out with? This is what happens when you bury the talent. You get so afraid that you can't step out front and show people who you really are. You're terrified that they will not accept you, but you do not understand. They're not supposed to accept you. You are supposed to accept yourself, and God will add on to you what is supposed to be rightfully and justly yours. You cannot continue to bury your talents because if you do nothing with your talents, you will be stripped of them. Then where will you be? A lot of you are living lives you don't like because you are burying your talents. And now, as you look around, things are being snatched away from you. Why? Because you are not grateful for what you have, because you're so busy worrying about John, Sally, and Sue, what they think about you, that you refuse to step up and shine. You have been given a light, and you have purposely taken a blanket and put the light on and say, don't see me. Don't see me. It's going to be too hard for me to go out here and do what I need to do. I'd rather be a sheep and follow. I'll follow Sean and Sally and Sue, and I'll be who they want me to be, as long as I don't have to deal with me and show you who I'm supposed to be, because that's too hard. You do yourself a disservice. So this servant, he has no abundance. He's going to have no legacy. He'll have no inheritance to leave to the children or the grandchildren. He's going to be unprofitable. He's going to be out in the dark, weeping and gnashing his teeth. And that's when the ideas come and they say, and the regret comes, and why didn't you take that money, that talent that was freely given, and why didn't you double it? Why didn't you do what you were supposed to do? You have everything you need inside, and you refuse. You flat out refuse to be who it is he saw you as. He had trust and faith in you, and you had none in yourself. So here we are, stripping, out in the darkness, out in the cold, with absolutely nothing. And the truth is, you gave it all away to because of other people's perceptions, because of other people's expectations. What I want you to understand from that story is that you have to dig within yourself and become an archaeologist, right? Start to go back, find out who you are, what gifts you have been freely given, and talents within yourself. because you didn't come here without certain tools. We all have tools. And some tools we know we have, but have decided to use those tools for not so good purposes, right? So if you take a hammer is great. It helps you to build, right? It can put nails in the wall, it can put stuff together, but it also can hurt someone. It can hurt you while you're nailing, right? Every tool has two sides, two heads. So if you know what your talent is, look and see how you're using it. I always like people who have beautiful voices, but decide to go into some realms with their voice that is questionable, I'll say. Okay? Okay, you can do what you want, what you get. But understand the consequences are there, and you'll have to pay them sooner or later. And then you have those who have just the same amount of gifts or even better, but they use it for good. And so that's what I mean about your gifts. And if you don't know what your gifts are, you're going to have to run everything back. Run all the lies, all the stuff that was told to you, no, you can't do that. Find out what makes you happy, what makes you smile. Find out how these gifts, sometimes the gifts automatically manifest. Like they're exuding out of you, but you do not see them because you have been taught not to see them. But you can tell by the impact you make on others. So be mindful of what you're manifesting. And if you're still unsure, what I would advise you to do is call up your closest people, and I hope you have a good circle, and ask them what you're good at, what they see in you. And this is another opportunity to cut off people if they say something crazy, right? Because when you start to want to better yourself, you'll either see people who want you to get there too, or to reel you in and say you're crazy. What are you even asking me this question for? Well, I just see that you're good at twerking or whatever. They don't see anything more or deeper with you. And maybe you keep all your relationships on the surface so that they can't. And so that's another question you have to ask yourself. But in this, you have to deal with yourself and unearth and nurture your buried talents so that you can come forth. And as you do that, you start to remember your assignment. And your assignment starts to be fulfilled without you even really putting the work in. It will just lead you down that path. So when we talk about alternate reality, just because you're off your path does not mean that one day you will not be back on it. It doesn't mean that you will never reach your true north. What it means is that you have to be mindful of the choices that you make. Be mindful that you can end up in a reality that you do not like by the choices that you have made. And so, in that, you must deal with yourself. So, choices are decisions. They come every day, every single day. You have to make a choice every day. When am I going to get out of this bed? Am I going to brush my teeth today? Am I going to jump in the shower? Decisions every day, and every decision changes aspect of who we are and our lives. They can be small, they can be big, they can be in the career path, the friendship path, um, you name it. And does it matter? Every decision matters. There is no such thing as luck or chance. Everything happens for a reason. Everything in this realm was made with a purpose and intention because the Most High doesn't do things half behind. So when we talk about shaping, we want to shape our decisions. We want them to have intention behind them. When I make a decision, I want this outcome, and I want to be able to see this outcome in my mind. This is how I want it to go. Now, you can fool yourself and say, I'm going to make this decision and I want it to go there. But everything that connects the dots don't work. So, and that's why you have to learn yourself so that you can be truthful with yourself, be able to mold what you do and the influences on certain things. So you need to, like I said, walk the consequence down, because although we live in an alternate reality, we still live in reality. So those consequences are very much real. Now, our perceived reality, however we see the world, how we interpret it, The world around us, the people in it, is is shaped not only by external circumstances, but it's truly, and I mean truly, shaped by our internal thoughts, beliefs, and our attitudes in life. If you believe something, your mind will make it true. It will hunt down that which to prove to you that your thoughts are real. Whether it be good or bad, it doesn't matter because it doesn't live in a judgmental thing. It's like this, oh, you want this to be fact? Let me go make it fact for you. You want to feel this way? Okay, we can make you feel this way. So you control what goes on. Like I said, you are the captain of your ship. So you have to realize what you want to believe in, what your thoughts are going to be, what how you're going to wake up in the morning, what kind of attitude you're going to have. This is all important when we deal with realities, when we deal with our lives and what we see for ourselves. You must have a vision. You must have a goal of what you're trying to obtain in this life. If not, life will give you anything. And if you are not controlling your thoughts, it will definitely get you what you're thinking. And most people, you can tell what they're thinking by the life that they're living. And that is nothing but the gospel truth, honey. Okay? Just the gospel truth on that. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up because this has been too long. I keep saying I'm gonna make them short, and it don't end up being short, y'all. But I wanted to read this from the Gospel of Thomas. It says, "For God's kingdom dwells in your heart and all around you. When you know yourself, you too shall be known." Let me say that again. When you know yourself, you too shall be known. That is a powerful statement. It is imperative that you know yourself. Okay? So basically, we're going to sum this up. So if you are constantly choosing to focus on positive thoughts and actions, your perceived future will be more optimistic and full of opportunities. But if you're someone who is frequently making negative choices, having negative reactions, pessimistic views, your life can be challenging and bleak. And there's nobody to blame for that but you. And I say that because I want to encourage you to reflect on yourself every day. I want you to understand that you do have power in your choices and you can enhance them or you can limit them. But it's all what you want and what you see for your life. It's no one else's. We can no longer point the fingers. We are in charge of what goes on with us. So the perceived reality for ourselves, we can make it favorable, or we can live a hard life, a very hard life. So I just want you to think about what I've talked about. I want you to understand that dealing with yourself is very important. I want you to be mindful of every choice you make, every potential alter that you can make in your life's trajectory that either can build you up or let you down. I want you to truly understand that there are levels to this thing. And in those levels, like I said, there are lessons. So embrace change. Always be willing to embrace change, but make conscious choices. Do the best you can. And if you have a counsel of wisdom, whether it be your grandma, grandpa, uncle, or aunt, that are living lives that you can say, hey, they're doing some things. They're making some things happen. Maybe I need to go to the table and sit at their feet and find out what's going on, right? So that you can start to manifest those things too. Be careful around who you surround yourself with and manifesting your blessings, right? Because blessings are not predetermined. They can only be manifested through choices and actions. So if you're praying for something that's good, but you are over here doing some shady stuff, there's no way those blessings are coming true. And that's why you have people sitting in the church for years and years talking about, oh, I bless me with this, bless me with that. And the Most High is like, I could bless you, but you won't leave that married man alone. I could bless you, but Deacon, you messing with the usher board, whatever. I could bless you, but you got this going on. Your actions must line up. Not only must your actions line up with your blessings and your prayers, but your emotions also. And you must be able to visualize these things. Spiritual blessings are related to faith and relationship with the Most High. You can't have a relationship if you out here acting crazy, right? We can ask for forgiveness, salvations, and all of that, but you must be willing to spiritually grow. You must be able to understand what it is to ask, to seek, and to knock, to ask with your mouth. Your mouth must go forth because you believe, because you're sending out instructions, right? So not only are we asking, but we're saying thank you already for what you have asked. But now we're seeking with our eyes, we're looking, we're surveying what's going on, right? So we want to make sure that we're able to see the vision, the goal, and how we're going to get there, because the rest will come aside you and guide you there. And then the knock, the physical. I must do the work. This is not by osmosis. I must do the work so that everything lines up and I'll be able to get from point A to B in a righteous manner. And like I said in the beginning, this work is hard. Dealing with yourself is not easy, but it's the only way that you can bring opportunities for growth, success, personal development, and all other blessings. Blessings like protection from harm, or protection from danger, or protection for adversity. We must understand how this works. And you can only understand it when you are ready to deal with you. You are either your best friend or you're either your worst enemy. You are whatever you want it to be. You create whatever you want and you set the tone for it. You have already had everyone pour into you. Now it's time for you to go assess all of that knowledge and throw out that which does not pertain to you. It's time to take the mask off. It's time to walk off the stage. It's time for the bright lights to be turned off. We can no longer live in the shadows of ourselves, and we can no longer live a life that someone else wants us to live. We can't live vicariously through everybody else, and we don't get to live. That's not fair. I was placed here to experience and to live and to love, to seek opportunities, to be, to help, not to take away from, not to damage, not to harm, right? So you have to live your life like that if you want it. And understand that there are some people who don't want that. They want the total opposite of what I'm talking about. And they are totally okay with taking from you, oppressing you. So you must know who you are. You must have a strong foundation. If not, you will be sucked into the black hole. And it's very dark there. I lived there for 7 years. It's very dark. It's very lonely. And it does want your soul. So when I say you must deal with yourself, this is not just some fly by night. I'm on here talking about something I don't know about. I know about this. And I pray that you do your work. And I pray that you do it sooner than later. Turn your life around. You have the ability to do that. You have strength. So I'm going to end it right here, you guys. I hope that you learned something from this. I hope that something clicked. I hope that you have the strength, the courage, and the fortitude to now control your life. Take that pen and start writing your story. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys next Sunday. I really enjoyed this. And we will talk again. Bye, you guys.